All right, that was exhausting, but certainly proud of our guys just to continue to battle. I think the first half didn't start out the way we wanted it to, and you got to give the Rams a ton of credit, give Sean a ton of credit, and his coaching staff and players. I knew they would be well prepared. I knew they'd battle. Anytime you got a quarterback of Matthew Stafford's caliber, you're probably going to be in for a dogfight, and that's exactly what it was today. And I'm happy that our guys showed the resiliency that we need to have and that you have to have in order to go on the road and win. It's never easy winning this league, and I told them enjoy it, but there's plenty to work on and plenty to improve upon.
I asked Jordan this question, Matt, just kind of big picture to start. You lost in week 1, you guys came back and won 2 straight. You're down 28-0, battled back last week, almost one thing. The pick 6, you come back and get a critical field goal before the half. The resiliency you talked about, is that something that you kind of instill in the team, or is that just how the roster's built? Kind of where does that come from, and how can you build it?
Well, you can talk about it till you're blue in the face, but whether or not the guys do it, no, I think it's just that's the mindset you have to have, whether it's in football or in life. There's going to be some things that happen to you and that are out of your control, and all you can do is the only thing you can control is how you respond to everything. And I think, specifically with Jordan, I think that's one of his superpowers, and we've seen it since the day he got drafted. Is he just doesn't blink when the pressure comes, and I think last year was pretty indicative of that. The struggles that we had, obviously, and his ability to overcome. I think that drive, obviously, when you throw a pick 6, that's never fun. And to be able to take us down there in a 2-minute drive and get some critical points when points were really tough to come by, I just think that's what he's all about. And I think that kind of, when you get a bunch of tough-minded guys, I think that kind of just it manifests itself, and it gets, it's contagious.
Now, what's a lot tougher to kind of take this step up in this game?
His work ethic. The guy, he loves ball. He works nonstop. He's relentless, and he's got a great mindset. And the guy, that's all he does. He just shows up. He works. He gets better. I think it's been really cool to see him blossom. I think the more confidence he's gotten, the better he's done. He's just a tough-minded dude, and it's been really cool to watch a guy and see the growth and development. I think John Dunn does a great job with those guys, but I think those guys within that tight end room all push each other.
How close is Love, you think, to full strength, and how close or far is he from the guy that we saw in the second half of last season?
Well, I think he's getting better. I think he's getting he looked like he was moving around pretty well today. And I think, it's never about one player. It's never about one person in this game. It takes all 11, and you need everybody around you to do their job so you can do your job at the highest possible level. So, I think there's some things that we can clean up, certainly, him specifically, but I was proud of just how he battles, man. He's the leader of the offense, and I love his approach to the game and everything he's about.
Matt, we asked Jordan Love about the interceptions. This was something you talked about early last season, empowering Jordan to be a playmaker while also making sure he's being as smart as he can be with the football. How do you walk that line with him, because you don't want to take away that playmaking attribute from him?
Yeah, that's a quarterback's number one job. He understands that, and he's conscious of it. And I think sometimes, just like a great example was that throw that he made to Jaden Reed, where we're not necessarily encouraging that one, but he also has a lot of faith and confidence in the guys around him. And, I think just to speak of that confidence, that last play call where we tried to run a double move on the outside to Wicks, and, he just has the belief that his guys are going to go make the play for him.
Coach, you lead the league in takeaways, and that's about as good a stat as you want pretty much at the end of the year. How does that fit into the overall scheme of things and praising the D?
Yeah, that's everything. I mean, the ball is everything, and we talk about it each and every week, and every week there's great examples around the league. Everybody, if you win the ball, you got a great chance at winning the game. And unfortunately, week one, we won the ball and still didn't win the game, but it does give you a much better chance to come out on top.
Now, what other safeties have you been around that are like Xavier in terms of just going after the football?
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, Rob. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. I mean, the guy just has a knack for the football, and he's got great ball skills. He's very instinctive and smart to allow him to anticipate, to make plays, and then he generally makes the play. And I'm sure there was one play in the second half that he'd like to have back, because he might have had another one right there. But certainly, I think he's been obviously a very key pickup, for us in free agency.
What have you been seeing from Evan Williams to give him the opportunity and responsibility he had today?
Yeah, that was kind of the plan going in, to put Key outside and put Bull down at the nickel position, which opened up the door for Evan Williams, and that's a luxury. I mean, we have confidence in all those guys, but again, Evan is another guy that's very smart. He's instinctive, and he has a knack for the football. And he made a couple critical plays today, where on some critical downs, be it third or fourth down, where he was able to defend some passes. And I think Evan is going to continue to get better and better and better. And right now we have a good problem in terms of we've got a lot of people that we feel like can go play in the secondary for us. So I think the challenge moving forward is, when we get everybody back and we're healthy, is how do you get all these guys involved? And I think the same with, that's why we're rotating so many guys up front on our D-line, and same within the receiver room.
Nice to be above water at 3-2, but overall, after 5 weeks, what do you want to see get better in the next 5 weeks?
Yeah, you either get better or you get worse. You're never staying the same, and every week is a new challenge. And I know that's a lot of coach speak, but I believe in that. And but I think it all starts with your preparation and how you approach it, and your willingness to put the work in to strive to get better in practice, and that gives you the confidence to go out there and make plays in the game. There's certainly a lot of areas where we have to get better. Again, penalties are a consistent problem. Certainly don't have the answer for that right now. It's extremely frustrating, and it's been an Achilles heel for us, and it's a big reason why we haven't won more, in my opinion. So that's something that we have to get corrected, and we better do it quick, because I want to say this is probably the most penalized team that we've had in my 6 years in Green Bay. It's crazy to even think that right now, but that is an area that we have to address, have to get better in. It's hard to get into a flow and show any consistency. It's like we have opportunities to make some plays, and then we get a false start or whatever it may be. There were a couple critical plays on the defensive side, and it's just something that we have to focus on and really hone in and try to get corrected.
Two more, please. Two more.
Say lack of preseason games, though, with starters. How much does that come into play? I know a lot of teams.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, you could say that. I mean, you can look at everything. I mean, but if you play your guys a lot more in the preseason, do you have all your guys? So it's a double-edged sword, and you're only right if you're right. So.
And how much of the Dobbs thing affect your work week, and do you expect him back and playing next week?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to our conversation tomorrow. So I fully anticipate him coming back, and I'm hopeful that he'll come back and get ready to work. And, like, distractions happen in the National Football League. Distractions happen in life. And you got to do your best to just focus on the task at hand. And I thought our guys did a pretty good job of that.
You've been you've been creating splash plays, offense and defense. As a head coach, I'm sure you're like, hey, we'd love to execute better down to down, but are you kind of okay being aggressive and inviting a little bit of that variance if you can create the explosives on both sides?
Yeah, I think explosive plays lead to points. I mean, that's a fact. stats are pretty staggering when you talk about explosion plays and your ability to score, or if you don't give them up, your ability to stop people. But so that's something that we're always hunting, but it's just the consistency, I would say, down in and down out. I was talking to Jordan about this in the locker room, just in terms of, I feel like I'm losing my voice right now. It seems like we're a little bit feast or famine offensively, in terms of we either get the big plays and we go score, or there's no big plays and we're punting. So we do have to get a little bit more consistency, I would say, just making sure we're getting positive plays, staying ahead of the sticks, trying to stay out of the third downs as best we can.